Corner. I'm Janvi and this is WSC Picks. Today we are going to learn how to create a better life of ourselves. And that's why we are sitting with Radhika Rai. She is an intuitive life coach and we have a lot to learn in this session. Welcome Radhika to my social corner.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So, Radhika, we are all beginners in our journey. And tell us that where do we start from? Like, is there, listening to someone or doing something? Where do we start our spiritual journey?
So, most of the time we start our spiritual journey when we hit a rock bottom, or there is a deadlock, or there is no other way out. But it is the time that we are in. We need to understand it is not something that we have to wait for a major setback to start our journey. The sooner we start, the better. And the best way to start is to truly start tuning in, understanding ourselves better, understanding our thoughts better, our emotions better, our beliefs better. And that really helps us in taking that first step towards any spiritual practice.
Okay. And do you think it's necessary to have a mentor, a guru, for our spiritual journeys? And if yes, where do we find her?
So again, there is to each its own. You will know if you need a guru or not from within. If there is a calling, if there is a pull from somebody, you will automatically know if you are tuned in and if you hear your inner voice better. You will realize that okay, this person, and that person may or may not be there in your physical reality. You might just watch their videos or listen to their podcast and you might feel connected. Okay, this is something that I relate to. So you don't really need to have a guru in physical form somewhere. You can feel maybe he or she is somebody you are just connected with. Their ideas are resonating with your inner voice. When I started my journey, there were a few that I have connected with from my heart. So I was watching Brahma Kumari and Sister Shivani's thoughts were something that really resonated, and it really helped me to move from one step to another. Similarly, reading really helps. So any book that you start with is something that you can associate with and learn from. The author can become your guru.
True. And when you mention about books, like are there any books or any piece of music or any podcast that you would recommend to youngsters?
So there are so many now, self-help and spirituality and all these subjects have a plethora of books. But we need to start somewhere again, and understanding your mind and body connection could be the first step of understanding what is it that you truly need. So there is a book called Power of Subconscious Mind. That is something that I started with. Joseph Murphy is the author of that book. It is a brilliant book that really explains in depth what is the true power of your subconscious and how your mind creates your reality. Everything that we think becomes our physical reality.
True. So the book that
one book is that. Then a beautiful book is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It is not just for corporates or people who are working. It is for everyone who really wants to imbibe certain habits in their everyday life. And it is very beautifully researched book which has come up with 7 most effective habits of making you a better person. So Stephen Covey has really filtered out all that is required for you for your interpersonal and your intrapersonal relationships.
Yes, it's true.
There is another very lovely book called The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And these are like the life lessons, the life values on which, if you base your life, that becomes like the four foundational pillars of your life. So the four agreements become your four foundation pillars. Every time you feel that you are faltering or you are going down the hill, you can check which of these pillars need a little more strengthening.
True. And most of these books, be it even The Secret, they talk about like manifestation, they talk about like training your subconscious mind. But tell me, how do we manifest? What are the practical steps to do it?
So manifestation is something that we are talking about a lot these
yeah.
days. Everywhere you will hear this, and it's become a fad that manifest as if it is a cakewalk. But the important thing to understand is, yes, manifestation is that quick. Manifestation is not something that you do someday. Manifestation is every moment. Just like we are breathing, we are manifesting. This interview has been manifested. It came up with a thought. The cameras that we are using here is a manifestation of somebody who thought about capturing moments and making it for long term. So everything that we can touch, see and feel has been manifested by someone, just somebody who has that idea first and then it becomes reality. So manifestation is not something which is separate from our day-to-day life. What is important here to understand is, how can you mindfully manifest? How can you become more aware when you are manifesting?
And do we do that through vision boards? And if yes, like how do we, create it? Like actually taking a board and like putting pictures?
So that is one aspect of it. That is one very beautiful technique that you can use when you want to manifest. But there are many ways in which you can manifest. There are basically what I teach as mindful manifestation. There is an entire course that I teach on how you can mindfully manifest. The first important step is to become aware of what you want. That clarity of what you want is the first step. We want so much, and then we give confused signals to the universe that we want this, and at the same time we want this as well, which might be two things which are contradicting. So really filtering out, becoming clear, calm in what you want to manifest, understanding yourself, and truly connecting with your inner voice is the first step. Then really letting go of what you do not want. So what comes in between our manifestation is the emotions, the beliefs that are causing hindrance in what we want. So if I want to be successful, but if I have a belief that I can never be successful, it is contradicting.
Yeah, and that's why.
And I am not good enough, it is contradicting. How will I be successful if I believe that I am not good enough? So working on those beliefs is very important. And the third step is to really be open and receptive to receive.
Mindful enough to
Mindful enough to receive in ways which are maybe different from what we have perceived or what we have thought of. When the universe starts to shower its blessings, it could come in many different forms. I may have manifested this dress, but it may not come in the same color or the same pattern as I may have asked. It will come in a much better way that suits my personality. And this is just an example to help people understand that whatever we are trying to manifest, surrender is the key. Clarity and surrender, it all comes in between this.
It's easier said than done though.
It takes practice, it takes everyday practice, everyday awareness is important.
When you say about everyday practice, are there any rituals, any things that you do or you would recommend people doing or not doing, to have a better day? Like say not using your phone or starting your day at this time, like some practices which people can implement.
Sure. So there are so many things that we can do, but primarily what I do and what I also teach my clients is Start your day with going within. Instead of going out and checking your phone or your emails or your messages, go within, give that me time to yourself, that few minutes just for yourself. You could just simply be aware of your breath, do some mindful practices like mindful breathing, becoming mindful of your body, just simply sitting in silence in nature, having a nature walk. It could be anything that you feel connected with, and it can connect you with your own self. Journaling is a very important and a very underrated process that people are now coming up with, and they are now understanding how important it is to really pen down everything. So to make a vision board, you need to know what you want to put on that vision board. To put all that you want, you need to short down and jot it down and really filter everything that is no longer needed and have that vision on paper. There is a scientific way that proves how writing with hand on a piece of paper really helps you to give that signal to your brain, which in turn helps you manifest faster and better.
I think that's one of the biggest takeaways, to start journaling.
Journaling, not using your notes or your mobile to type it out, but really write what you feel. And there are so many beautiful ways in which you can journal. There is an excellent book called The Artist Way. It is a game changer, a life changing book. Anybody who's watching this interview, I would very strongly recommend that this is something that you can start your journaling practice with. It's a complete therapy in itself. The book is a therapy book of 12 weeks where it tells you how and what you can journal. In that 12 weeks, you can really go deep within, understand yourself, clear all the inhibitions, clear everything that you do not require, and truly connect with your creative self with the help of this book.
Interesting. I think we should definitely, check this book and get more insights.
It is an
on
excellent book too.
Journaling.
Yes.
True.
And journaling is not just one way of writing what you want on how your day was. Gratitude journaling is something that we must at least start or end our day with. So gratitude again brings us in the energy of manifestation. The more we are grateful for things that we have, the more we are allowing the universe to send things that we can be grateful for. So gratitude, journaling, any form of meditation, and not to forget any kind of movement, be it yoga, be it any kind of dance that you feel like, any exercise, but moving your physical body also helps you move the energy of your body and give your alignment to really align with your dreams, your aspirations and goals.
True. And considering that India is a very spiritual country, like we have so many places where people would want to go, for the spiritual quest. Even our Bollywood films have glamorized, that going to mountains. But tell us that which are the places which you would recommend, if we really have some questions and we would want to explore.
So, in my opinion, in my understanding, it is not us who can decide which place we need to visit, especially if we have an intent for the spiritual quest. The place will decide if it needs to call you at a certain time or not. So it is always the spirit of that place that will invite you if you are ready to explore and go deeper. So be it Kashi, be it Rishikesh, be it Dwarka, be it Auroville, all these places you might be planning and making plans for years and years. It might not happen, but when it starts to happen, it will not take time and you will immediately be there without any planning, without any any kind of mindset, and you will just simply be there by the calling of that place.
Is there any specific place for you where you found your calling?
So Dwarka, you know, I have shared with you earlier. I have been in Ahmedabad for 19 years. I have known Dwarka but never really connected with Dwarka. And last year, one of my very close friends, and it all happens, then it starts to,
Coincidences?
yes, I will call it synchronicities more than coincidences, because the universe starts to conspire to make things happen for you.
Okay.
And it starts to connect the dots. My name is Radhika, and I have never really. And when I was getting married, one of my father's friend told, now Dwarkadhish has called Radhika.
Wow.
And I never really visited in the last 18 years. I never really connected. But the day I visited for the first time, it feels like home.
Okay.
It feels as if it is calling me I am here in my body, but in my soul I am always there.
Beautiful. This was about, our spiritual quest, but tell us that there's also different aspects such as tarot, which
Correct.
also you deal with, and everyone is very curious. People find it very fascinating. For all those people who have no idea about what tarot is, are there any cards you want to talk about or anything about tarot that people should know about?
So tarot is a deck of cards, just like playing cards. It's a deck of 72 cards. What is tarot? It is a spiritual tool, just like a vehicle. You have a two-wheeler, you have a four-wheeler, you have a aeroplane, you have a train. There are different vehicles you can use to reach from one place to another.
Yeah.
Similarly, tarot is a divination tool. This tool helps you get guidances and answers that you are seeking. So when we talk about manifestation, I mentioned you need to ask clearly. Now, what if you do not have clarity? Tarot is a divination tool that will help you gain clarity.
Okay.
If you have two options, do I take this job or this job? Tarot will help you decide, okay, this job will give you this, and might need you to compromise on this, but this job will give you this, and you will progress better in this.
True.
So you now get more clarity of choosing your choices better. Similarly, if you are stuck in a relationship and you need more guidance on how do you move further, should you go ahead with this relationship or should you say goodbye? These are divination tools that really help you understand that no, you should really put in more effort, give a little more try and work something within yourself so that you can see results outside. Or they will also give you guidance that this is not going to work, this is over, you better start
With
some different
something
aspect,
else.
some different path is for you, not this. So these are divination tools that really help you get clarity, get guidance, just help you understand your own choices better.
Oh. And when we are talking about spirituality, food is not like directly connected with it. But yeah, people say that when you are on this path, have sattvic food or don't have this. What is your take on food and spirituality?
This body is a vessel, Janvi, and this vessel has the spirit inside. The spirituality comes from the word spirit, which is holded in this body, the vessel. Without this body, there is no spirit. So if there is a vase, or maybe imagine a glass vase, the glass, the element of the glass would be the same even if it is broken. But the empty space in the vase, that is the spirit of the vase, makes it a vase. If it is broken, it is no more a vase. Similarly, this body, until it is alive, it is holding the spirit. The moment it is dead, there is no spirit, there is no spirituality for this body. So the importance of food is, it is very, very important to understand how can we totally embrace this body, nurture this body, and need to do everything in order to make this body happy.
And you also talked earlier about like your journey of being a vegetarian. If you could elaborate about
Correct.
it.
So in 2013, I was introduced to this practice of Reiki healing.
Okay.
And Reiki teaches us how we can be compassionate to all living beings. Until then, I was a non-vegetarian. I used to eat non-veg. And the moment I was attuned to Reiki energy, you need a teacher to attune you to that energy. From that day onwards, there was an inner calling of not eating non-vegetarian food. The prime reason was being compassionate to all living beings. So if I am compassionate to the dog that I have as a pet in my house, I cannot be not compassionate to the hen or the goat that is being slaughtered for becoming my meal. And that was a one basic thing, and it has been a journey. I will not say it's a very smooth sailing path, but yes, the inner determination and the inner willpower really helps, to make that choice and walk on that path.
So yeah,
And
that's right.
really helps in also clearing a lot of, you mentioned about being sattvic. So all this food comes in the category of tamasic, the non-vegetarian food, or the food that is more with heat like garlic or onion. And this has a direct impact on the mind, the thoughts that we think, the emotions that we feel. So it is really important to understand your body. And it is not true for everyone, Janvi. We here in India might think of eating non-vegetarian food and being spiritual on the same page, but when we go abroad, there are so many people who are spiritual, having their glass of wine, having their share of non-vegetarian food, and they are truly living their spirituality. They are truly being true to who they are. They are kind people, they are compassionate, they are trustworthy. These are the basics.
It's not about judging anyone.
It's not about judging.
True. And lastly, I mean, for millennials, for young people, there's so many distractions. It's so difficult even to embark on the path of spirituality. Any, concluding remarks, any advices that you would want to give us?
See, I feel this generation is far more spiritual than we think that they are, because they are very much aware, most of them are very much aware of who they are and what they want. And when we started this conversation, we started with manifestation, and it is very important to understand that we do not manifest what we want, we manifest who we are. This generation is far more clearer and far more connected with themselves, their thoughts, their emotions, and how they want their life to be. That is a very contradicting with the earlier generation, because we as parents were not that clear. We did not know so clearly of what we wanted and what we did not, and hence the clash. I have a teenage daughter, and many a times I am amazed by the clarity of thoughts that she has, by the clarity of actions that she is taking in accordance to what she wants in life. But yes, distractions are not allowing them to tap into their highest potential. They have the potential, but they are so much distracted that they are not able to match up with their thoughts, their actions, and that is where they are really struggling with. So the first step will be for them to really understand that what potential they hold within, and truly work towards tapping that potential, and only they can do that. They can only do that by becoming more and more mindful of what are their long term. They are working very short term. They are working for very instant gratification.
That's our problem too.
And that is something that they need to work. That instant gratification is good, that will give you joy and pleasure in this moment. But what about 2 years, 3 years, 7 years, 10 years down the line? That thought needs to be inculcated in them. That long-term vision needs to come into picture for them to truly understand. And a little guidance from people who are already walking that path can help them.
Thank you so much, for sharing your journey and guiding us in creating a better life for ourselves. And for more such conversations, for more such interviews, keep watching Women's Social Call.